little more. Same as my daddy and his daddy before. You hardly ever saw granddaddy down here. They only come to town about twice a year. You buy 100 pounds of yeast and some copper line. Everybody knew that it made moonshine. Now the revenue man wanted granddaddy bad. Headed up a holler of everything he had. For my time, but I've been told you never come back from Copperhead Road. In a big black Dodge. Bought it at an auction at the Mason's Lodge. Johnson County Sheriff painted on the side. Just shot a coat of primer and looked inside. Well, him and my uncle tore that engine down. I still remember that rumbling sound. And then the sheriff came around in the middle of the night. Heard mama crying that something wasn't right. He's headed down to Knoxville with a weekly load. You can smell a whiskey burning down Copperhead Road. First round here and away. I've done 2 tours of duty in Vietnam. I came home with a brand new plane. I take the seat from Colombia, Mexico. I just planted up a holler down Copperhead Road. Chopper in the air, we got screaming like I'm back over there. I learned a thing or two from Charlie, don't you know? You better stay away from Copperhead Road.
One tribe, one kind, one planet, one race. It's all one blood, don't care about your face, color of your eye or the tone of your skin. Don't care where you are, don't care where you been. Cause where we gon' go is where we wanna be. The place where the native language is unity. And the continent is called Pangea. And the main ideas are connected like a sphere. No propaganda to try to upperhand us. Cause man, I'm loving this peace. Man, I'm loving this peace. Man, I'm loving this peace. I don't need no leader that's gonna force feed her. Concept to make me think I need her. Fear my brother and fear my sister. And shoot my neighbor with my big missile. If I had an enemy, if I had an enemy, if I had an enemy, then my enemy's gonna try to come and kill me. Cause I'm his enemy. There's one tribe, y'all. One tribe, y'all. We one tribe, y'all. We are one people. Let's catch amnesia. Forget about all that evil. Forget about all that evil. That evil that they feed you. Let's catch
Good evening and welcome to the 2021 Montana FFA State Degree Session. Will everyone please find a seat as we begin tonight's session? It is my pleasure to welcome all members, advisors, parents, and guests to the 91st Annual Montana FFA State Convention here in the Billings Inn and Convention Hall in Billings, Montana. Please stand as Coulter McWilliams and Caden Kemmerer of the Missoula FFA chapter present the colors, and Lane Johnson of the Plentywood FFA sings the National Anthem.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
The Convention Hall will come to order. We are now holding the State Degree Session of the 91st Montana FFA State Convention. Madam Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
Madam President.
The Parliamentarian.
Hereby a copy of Robert's Rules of Order.
Your duty's there.
It is my obligation to know and share information about parliamentary law and assist members in proper meeting procedure and etiquette so that we may accomplish the business of the association. I assure that every member will be heard and that the majority will prevail. The Sentinel.
Stationed by the door.
Your duties there?
Through this door, past many friends of the FFA, it is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all times and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the president in maintaining order.
The Reporter.
Porter is stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to the Virgin Islands, and from the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The treasurer.
At the emblem of Washington.
Your duties there?
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements, just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standing through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary.
Stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duties there.
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I'm asked to advise you from time to time as the need arises. I hope that my advice will always be based on true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Mr. Vice President, why do you keep the plow at your station?
The plow is a symbol for labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to direct the work of our organization at all times and preside over meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is our president so stationed?
The rising sun is a token of a new era in agriculture. If we follow the leadership of our president, we will be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Madam President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Vice Presidents. The Secretary will call the roll of members.
There are 205 members and guests present, Madam President.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here? To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA member should possess. May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare this the first state degree session of the 91st Montana FFA State Convention duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matter which may properly be presented. Good evening, everyone. Before we get started, just a very brief reminder on some of our COVID restrictions. We would ask that all members, advisors, and guests be wearing their face masks above their nose and below the chin. Remember that having an in-person state convention is a privilege, and to continue having in-person competitions, we would just appreciate it if you would all just follow the guidelines. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, good evening, members, parents, advisors, and guests, and welcome to the state degree session at the 91st Montana FFA State Convention. I am McKenna Quirk, your Montana FFA State Secretary, and I am honored to be one of your session chairs this evening alongside my teammate and your state president, Brooke Melhoff. We are so excited to be able to host our convention in person and to celebrate the incredible accomplishments of the 152 members who will be receiving their state degree this evening. Receiving your state degree is something every FFA member can be immensely proud of, as well as their parents and advisors who supported, encouraged, and inspired them to get to this point. Throughout your time in FFA, you have worked incredibly hard to achieve your goals, develop your SAEs, and serve your communities, even as a pandemic ground the world to a halt. To be sitting in this room today shows that you have made the most of your time in this wonderful organization thus far, despite the unprecedented circumstances we have faced over the past year. Your hard work, dedication, and passion for this organization does not go unnoticed, and we are thankful to be able to celebrate your accomplishments in person. In fact, that is why this evening's session is titled Connected by Dedication, to recognize the immense amount of work you have done in order to be here today, receiving your state degree. In these trying times, it is members such as yourselves that we can look to for inspiration. Congratulations to each and every one of you. During this session, we will be hearing a message from this session's sponsor, listen to remarks from a few special guests, and recognize our 152 state degree recipients. The Montana Farm Bureau has supported the Montana FFA for many years, and we are thankful for their sponsorship of this evening's state degree session. If you could all direct your attention to the screen, we will now hear a message from the Montana Farm Bureau Foundation.
I'm Hans McPherson, president of the Montana Farm Bureau Foundation. Just want to say congratulations to you state degree recipients. FFA is a great organization. I joined the FFA in 1967. I learned the FFA creed, and it's been a guiding deal for me my whole life.
Good evening, I'm Cynthia Johnson, and I'm the Vice President of the Montana Federation, from Montana Farm Bureau Federation, and I am also on the board for the Montana Foundation, and I too would like to say congratulations to the state degree recipients. Montana FFA has been part of my life for a long, long time. I didn't get to enjoy being a member, but I grew up with members, and I raised a few. I think that Montana FFA is your foundation for a long life in agriculture. And the Montana Farm Bureau Foundation is pleased to be able to sponsor your celebration of your effort as a state degree recipient.
Congratulations, state degree recipients.
Thank you to the Montana Farm Bureau Foundation for their encouraging words. We are extremely grateful for their support of Montana agriculture and the Montana FFA. We are honored to have Artha Jonasson, the National FFA Southern Region Vice President, here this evening to help us congratulate our 152 degree recipients. At this time, we would like to invite Artha to the stage to share a few words with us all.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Artha Jonasson, and I'm serving as the Southern Region Vice President for National FFA this year. And I am elated that I can join you all today to celebrate such a momentous occasion of you receiving your state FFA degree. This is my very first time in Montana, and man, it's been a blast so far, and I can't wait to see where the rest of the week takes us. So for the past couple of months, my national officer teammates and I, we have been living together in Indianapolis. And in that time, we've really gotten to know each other pretty well. I mean, once you wash someone's laundry, fold their underwear, cook them supper a few times, I mean, you really get to connect with someone. And one of my teammates, Paxton, our Central Region Vice President from the state of Missouri, he has this really weird obsession with fire. And I mean like really weird. To the point where if we can't ever find Paxton, all we have to do is find the nearest candle and you can see him poking his little finger in there, messing with the flame. And a couple of weeks ago, we're sitting in our living room of our apartment, watching some Disney movies, eating cheap takeout Chinese food, when I see him in the corner playing with the candle. And I ask him, Paxton, why do you like fire so much? And our resident pyromaniac, he laughs and he says, well, Artha, fire really, really fascinates me because it's amazing that something so small can have such an immense impact. Fire, it keeps us warm, but it also gives us light. And we all need a little fire inside to stay alive. Now, I'm taken aback by Paxton's response because I really just thought that he grew up playing with like fireworks in a cornfield in Missouri, but he really had an immense purpose to his obsession with fire. We all need a little light to keep us alive. Now, Paxton may have been talking about the flicker of a lighter or what happens when we strike a match, but when I think about the fire that keeps FFA alive, I think of each and every one of you. We wouldn't be over 90 years strong as an organization if not for members like you achieving your state FFA degree and associations just like Montana's. The fire that keeps FFA alive, it increases, it becomes more beautiful when we engage with our supervised agriculture experiences. SAEs, they're not one size fits all, and that's where the beauty of our fire comes to life. Some of us, we raise livestock. Others of us, we engaged in agricultural sales, working at a farmer's market or at a grocery store. Others of us increased agricultural literacy in our communities through advocacy initiatives. And it doesn't matter what your SAE looked like to get you here today, you are what keeps FFA alive. The fire that keeps FFA alive, it's not just limited to our SAEs, but it's also illuminated when we engage with our community. When we do community service efforts in our hometowns, we engage with the people who make us who we are. We make our communities more beautiful. And because of that, the entire state of Montana and our entire country is made better because of your work. Whether that's a service initiative or an advocacy effort, you are keeping the fire that keeps FFA alive strong. But the work, it doesn't stop now. Yes, you will receive that beautiful gold coveted FFA charm and you'll wear it on your jacket this week, but it can't stop now. We can't grow complacent. We have to continue to use our SAEs to enrich our communities. We have to continue to reach out to the members of our community to ensure that the next generation gets to enjoy the beauties of the National FFA organization. So y'all, the ball is in your court now. How will you use the next few days as we are at the Montana FFA State Convention to continue to light those fires? Will you reach out to a younger member? Are you competing in a new event? Are you going to encourage someone to do all the things that you wish you could do now that your time in the blue jacket is running out? Y'all, there are plenty of ways to make an impact. There are plenty of ways to keep our fire alive. It's up to each of you to ensure that that happens. So once again, congratulations on receiving your state FFA degree. I am so excited to be here in the Treasure State celebrating with each and every one of you, and the work doesn't stop now. Thank you so much.
Artha, thank you for sharing your message with us. Your words of encouragement remind us that we are all connected by dedication and give us a little bit of an extra spark. Thank you. We have not one, but two representatives from the National FFA organization with us here tonight. Please turn your attention to the screen to hear a message from the National FFA advisor, Dr. James Woodard.
Hi, friends. Thanks for inviting me to join your state convention. For those who may not know me, I'm Dr. James Woodard, the National FFA advisor, and I'm joining you today from my hometown in Georgia. I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate all the FFA members in Montana earning their state FFA degree this year. The state degree is a symbol of your commitment and dedication to FFA. It proves you're a leader in your chapter and in your state. Earning this state degree shows you've taken your involvement in FFA beyond the chapter level and that you've enjoyed a successful supervised agricultural experience. You've demonstrated your leadership ability and you have completed notable community service activities. I commend you for achieving this honor and hope that each of you will continue your pursuits to earn the gold standard in FFA degrees, the American FFA degree, awarded annually at the National FFA Convention and Expo. I look forward to hearing of your future success and congratulate you on the honors you have earned. Montana is lucky to have your commitment and dedication as an FFA member. Again, congratulations.
Another big thank you to Dr. Woodard for taking the time to congratulate our state degree recipients.
We will now transition to the highlight of tonight's events, recognizing our 152 state degree recipients.
We shall proceed with the degree ceremony. Madam Secretary, what have you to report concerning candidates eligible for this degree?
I am pleased to submit the names of 152 candidates who have been selected by the State Executive Committee to receive the state FFA degree.
Our Constitution sets up minimum qualifications which must be met before candidates are eligible for election to this degree. Mr. Advisor, have you carefully examined and reviewed the records of these candidates?
Madam President, a committee reviewed the applications and found all of the candidates fully qualified.
We will now proceed to raise these members to the state FFA degree.
The state FFA degree is the highest degree our state association can bestow. Some of you will one day earn the coveted golden key of the American FFA degree. We urge you to maintain throughout your adult lives the same enthusiasm and dedication that you bring to this ceremony today.
It is a great honor to be nominated for the state FFA degree. It is still a greater honor to be selected for this degree by your fellow members of the Montana FFA Association.
New achievements bring you greater honors as well as additional responsibilities. You have widened the field of your services and influence in the strengthening of agriculture, the most basic industry of our nation.
You have been urged to advance towards higher degrees in the FFA. We commend you for your accomplishments and encourage you to work towards new and higher goals in our organization and in your chosen occupation.
In meeting the requirements of the Green Hand and Chapter FFA degrees, you were told that the golden charm of the state FFA degree was awaiting you. The bronze emblem of the Green Hand gave way to the silver emblem of the Chapter FFA degree, which has now evolved into the golden charm. This is a symbolic of growth and development in your chosen occupation. May the permanence of the rare and golden qualities of the emblem be a constant reminder of the strength of your education and worthiness of your achievement. Therefore, on behalf of the Montana FFA Association, I confer upon you the state FFA degree with its honors and privileges, and present to you this charm, the emblem of the degree. Will the secretary please read the names of the qualifying recipients?
I shall read the name of each chapter alphabetically, beginning with Bainville, followed by the name of each individual alphabetically within that chapter. Please hold your applause until all names have been announced. Once you have looped around this big room and come up on stage and gotten your state degree and gotten a picture taken with Artha down in that corner, we ask that you please return to your seats, and we will proceed from there. All right. Before I start reading, I will give you guys a minute to loop around. Everyone in this row, this front row, please stand up and start looping around so you can, yes, follow the leader. Go, go, go. Perfect. And while we're waiting, everyone who's in these next couple rows, watch these guys because you're going to end up doing the exact same thing. So just keep an eye out. All right, we've got our first one. Here we go. From the Bainville FFA chapter, Gianna Boyd, Donna Butekofer, Caden Hansen. From the Baker FFA chapter, Sydney Kirsten. From the Beaverhead FFA chapter, Dakota Abbey. Zachary Craig. Jack Gibson. Kylie Lewis. Malcolm Peterson. Tani Schma. Chance Story. From the Belgrade FFA chapter, Ray Hankey. Kylie Smeha. From the Big Timber FFA chapter, Braylyn LaRue. Amelia Laba. Samantha Moore. Lauren Nyber. Braden Young. And from the Broadus FFA chapter, Dakota Holbrook. Caden Trent. From the Broadwater FFA chapter, Caden Broughton. From the Carter County FFA chapter, Jasmine Erickson. From the Cascade FFA chapter, Jesse Barger. From the Chinook FFA chapter, Rebecca Stroh. Austin Swanson. From the Clarks Fork FFA chapter, Grace Eisenbray. Sydney Altoff. Hope Guessing. Hannah Griffin. Brandon Clausen. Kyra Kroll. From the Colstrip FFA chapter, Aaron Blanchard. From the Columbus FFA chapter, Jessica Kalovis. From the Conrad FFA chapter, Riley Larson. From the Corvallis FFA chapter, Tiffany Yoder. Riley Jessup. Nissa Schreier. Ellis Shortridge. From the Culberton FFA chapter, Anissa Bengosha. Kelsey Williams. From the Custer FFA chapter, Brooklyn Ragland. Charlie Yoakum. From the Dawson FFA chapter, Cassandra Britton. From the Deer Lodge FFA chapter, Aubrey Bower. Miles Gravely. Talon Hansen. From the Denton FFA chapter, Noah Squires. From the Fairfield FFA chapter, Justin Forseth. Rylan Signalis. From the Forsyth FFA chapter, TJ Fulton. Mariah Harms. Kaylee Herndon. Sadie Kramer-Stahl. Joe Lachman. Tara McDermott. Brianna Price. Nyla Redding. Cameron Riley. Cassandra Schiffer. Michelle Talent. Rowan Wester. And from the Freud FFA chapter, Kaya Partanu. From the Fromberg FFA chapter, Jersey Carr. Brenda Hassan. From the Geraldine FFA chapter, Emma Bai. Jonna McCullough. From the Hinsdale FFA chapter, Loden Idler. Caitlin McCauley. And Danica Soper. From the Hobson FFA chapter, Carson Stevenson. From the Hot Springs FFA chapter, Burton Detienne. Gabby Jarvis. From the Huntley Project FFA chapter, Cody Johannes. From the Joliet FFA chapter, Connor Coate, Elena Harris, Kelly Lind, Tori Peak, Jalen Stongstad, Gunnar Ward, Gunnar Ward, from the Kalispell FFA chapter, Daisy Becker, Thomas Becker, Faith Sheff, Matthew Dahl, Daniel Dorset, McKenna Hartle, Bailey Lake, Hannah Stolfus, from the Laurel FFA chapter, Rachel Bartz, Kyle Robertus, from the Malta FFA chapter, Tamala Abrahamson, Marcus Knudsen, from the Miles City FFA chapter, Natalie Haycock, Wyatt Mugley, Abby Nowicki, from the Mission Valley FFA chapter, J. Lee Lunsford, Skylar Shima, Jeremy Ulrich, from the Missoula FFA chapter, Amy Chilcote, Caden Kammerer, Coulter McWilliams, from the Moore FFA chapter, Danielle Horan, from the Opime FFA chapter, Cole Taylor, from the Park FFA chapter, McLean Payne, Nicholas Pearson, Terrence Weimer, from the Park City FFA chapter, Adam Baker, Chasen Fenton, Rory Shea, Jessica Waldo, Rory Shea, Jessica Waldo, from the Plevna FFA chapter, Jenna Paul, from the Red Lodge FFA chapter, Andrew Espeland, Haley Nybauer, from the Ritchie FFA chapter, Jaden Goosen, Wyatt Robbins, Caleb Center, Laurel Spoonheim, from the Roundup FFA chapter, Erica Dodd, Gareth Service, Tess Shaw, from the Roy FFA chapter, Colleen Mosby, from the Ruby Valley FFA chapter, Colby Caldwell, Mackenzie Fable, Coleman Gilman, Jessica Masshart, Desiree Tipton, from the Shepherd FFA chapter, Shaylor McGilvery, Shelby Pittman, from the Shields Valley FFA chapter, Gwyneth Collins, Aiden Jenkins, Kayla Johnson, Reese Lannon, Hazen Marshall, Sage Willis, from the Sims FFA chapter, Karen Fredrickson, LaKrista Hansen, Lane Hindrager, Chad Hitchcock, Peter Johnson, Jake Kappen, Lucas Kincaid, Brianna Runstrom, Kelsey Tadlock, Timer Thomas, Mandy Widmer, from the Stillwater Valley FFA chapter, Alexis Fenez, Emily Rutin, Mackenzie Walton, Michaela Walton, Colton Young, from the Weibo FFA chapter, Haley Varner, from the Winifred FFA chapter, Jake Brown, and Matthew Slipka.
We are now going to take a brief pause until everyone is done going through the photo booth, and then we will shortly conclude this session. Thank you for your patience.
Good night. That was actually some really good energy. I like that. My name is Tyler Noyes. I'm president of the Collegiate Young Farmers and Ranchers at MSU. Now, unfortunately, we had a little slight change of plans. We were going to do a fun little pre-session, but instead, what we're going to do is we have a bunch of goodies that we're just going to throw to you. So be ready to catch them. By a show of hands, how many of you are seniors real quick? All right. How many of you are going to go to MSU and be Bobcats? All right, I'm going to ignore that side. They booed. For you who yayed, if you like being involved in agriculture and you want to continue to be an advocate for agriculture, when you come to MSU, find us. We're the Collegiate Young Farmers at MSU. You don't have to be a farmer or a rancher to join. All you got to do is have a passion for agriculture and a desire to serve your community. So if you're looking to get involved, please join us. With that, we hope you have a great rest of your state convention. Thanks for letting us briefly introduce ourselves, and let's go throw some goodies. Have a great state convention, everybody.
cut loose, footloose, kicked off the Sunday shoes. Ooh-wee, Marie, shake, shake the chlorine. Oh, my Lord, come on, let's go. Loose, you're loose, everybody cut footloose.
Church mother in a church hat clap. Man, that sugar gave her color purple coming back clap. When that whole week beat you up and stress you, but you hear that organ playing and remind you of your blessings. And on another note, she just hit another note. Chills down my spine, got me crying, make me overload. You don't know about it though. Old school church hymns, deacons get the humming out of drum up in the verse. Lordy, Lordy, Lord. Can you hear me now? Church close, sweater, you don't care, you just get it now. Testify how we made martyrs out of these fathers.
Good evening and welcome to the 2021 Montana FFA First General Session. Will everyone please find a seat as we begin tonight's session.
It's hope.
It's relationships.
It's commitment.
It's passion.
It's adaptability.
It's compassion.
It's leadership. The greatest among you shall be your servant. Whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted. Matthew 23:11-12. Leadership is not found in a position, award, or title. Leadership is found in our everyday actions and attitudes. Being a chapter officer, winning first place, or getting team captain doesn't automatically make you a leader. Stepping out of the spotlight so someone else can shine makes you a leader. Recognizing and encouraging others for their unique abilities and aptitudes makes you a leader. Leadership is found when members like you choose to step up and consider others more highly than yourself.
Resilience is the ability to withstand tough situations and recover quickly from them. The tardigrade is an 8-legged microanimal. They can be found living in the most extreme conditions, deep in the sea, on the tops of mountains, and even in volcanoes. They can withstand the chilling temperatures of Antarctica and the boiling heat of a desert. These little bugs are considered the most resilient species on the face of our planet. They survive conditions that would normally cripple other lives. Being resilient means facing and handling even the most difficult situations and conditions that are sent our way. Being resilient means not crumbling when we face a challenge. Just like tardigrades, let us be resilient. Let us keep pushing on despite how much pressure or uncertainty is surrounding us. Let us defy the odds and keep going on.
You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. Eleanor Roosevelt. Hope is our best weapon against fear. Fear is one of the most powerful forces in our lives, influencing everything we do, from what we eat, where we go, and how we react. But hope keeps us from giving in to those fears. Facing our fears has been and always will be one of the hardest things we will face. Once you choose hope, anything is possible.
No road is long with good company. Turkish proverb. Our relationships can be a source of strength. They can help us bounce back from trials and tribulations, grow as individuals, and make our everyday lives exciting and fun. Our ability to maintain relationships has been tested this year. Our time with others has been limited. And the miles between us, we built connections. We've been constantly amazed by you, Montana FFA members, and your ability to build a community wherever you may be. Look around. We are finally together, in the same room. Let's continue building community. Let's celebrate this time we get to share together.
Without commitment, you cannot have depth in anything. Neil Strauss. As FFA members, we strive for excellence in all things. We find meaning and depth in this organization when we fully commit to making an impact. In order to exert positive change in the lives of others, we must be present in their lives. This next week, we will all have the opportunity to make countless connections with those around us. Impact will be made if we are committed to being intentional with our time and our attitudes. This week, I challenge you to be committed to being present.
Don't try to change the world. Find something that you love and do it every day. Do that for the rest of your life, and eventually the world will change. Macklemore. As FFA members, we are all familiar with passion. We know what it is like to have an inborn fondness for agriculture and drive to succeed. But sometimes, the best way to foster a passion is to start with something you love and pursue it relentlessly. This is how we will find our new passions. Watching all of you persevere throughout this year and continue to do what you love has been awe-inspiring. Let's allow our passions to culminate this week and make this a convention never to be forgotten.
It is not the strongest or most intelligent who will survive, but those who can best manage change. Charles Darwin. This year has tested our adaptability beyond measure, and the only constant in life is change. Being adaptable is key to a successful and fun year. We have had to endure many challenges and have to help those around us who have stumbled back to their feet and encourage them to push forward. Just remember, there's no growth in the comfort zone and no comfort in the growth zone. Stay strong and keep your head held high, and we will get through this together.
Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a harder battle. Plato. Throughout our lives, we walk past thousands of unfamiliar faces. We pass them without second thought about what they're going through. Although we only see them for a split second, it's easy for us to judge them based on what they appear to look like on the outside. The truth of it is, everyone is facing something. Both in and out of the blue jacket, FFA members are selfless people who strive to lead lives of service and are always thinking of others. As we pass unfamiliar faces at convention this week, remember to have compassion for those around us, as we don't know the half of what they're facing.
When you put on your blue corduroy jacket, you embody all of these things and more. Our corduroy jackets represent leadership,
resilience,
hope,
relationships,
commitment,
passion,
adaptability,
compassion.
Montana FFA, together we are connected by corduroy.
Please stand as Coulter McWilliams and Caden Kemmerer of the Missoula FFA chapter present the colors. And Lane Johnson from the Plentywood FFA chapter sings the National Anthem.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so gladly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Guys, I'm so ready for session tonight.
It's gonna be so much fun. I can't believe we get to be in person.
Guys, it's time for session. We gotta go. Oh!
Whoa, Bailey, you're missing a really important part of your official dress.
I have my tie.
Your mask.
You're right. I forgot my mask.
Montana FFA, it is a privilege for us to be able to be here in person in Billings for our state convention. Let's make sure we keep everyone safe. Your mask is a vital part of your official dress this week.
Please keep your masks over your noses and under your chins at all times.
Make sure to squirt some hand sanitizer on your hands and stay 6 feet apart.
Countdown to showtime. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome all members, advisors, and guests to the 91st Annual Montana FFA State Convention. Please rise and welcome your 2020 and 2021 State Officer Team. Your State Parliamentarian from Fairview, Allison Young. Your State Sentinel from Missoula, Max Andries. Your State Reporter from Carter County, Gracie Took. your state treasurer from Victor, Gracie Smith. Your state secretary from Missoula, McKenna Quirk. Your state president from Twin Bridges, Brooke Melhoff. And let's give it up for your state advisor from Bozeman, Mr. Jim Rose. Tonight, we would like to thank Wilbur Ellis for sponsoring this general session. It's through the generous support of Montana FFA donors that help make this event possible.
The convention hall will come to order. We are now holding the first general session of the 91st Montana FFA State Convention. Madam Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they are at their stations, and report back to you, Madam President.
The parliamentarian.
Robert's Rules of Order.
Your duties there?
It is my obligation to know and share information about parliamentary law and assist members in proper meeting procedure and etiquette so that we may accomplish the business of the association. I assure that every member will be heard and that the majority will prevail.
The Sentinel.
Stationed by the door.
Your duties there?
Through this door, past many friends of the FFA, it is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all time and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the president in maintaining order.
The reporter.
Reporter is stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to the Virgin Islands and from the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The Treasurer.
Stationed by the emblem of Washington.
Your duties there?
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standings through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary.
Stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duties there?
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The Advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I'm asked to advise you from time to time as a need arises. I hope that my advice will always be based on true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Mr. Vice President, why do you keep the plow at your station?
The plow is a symbol for labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is the president so stationed?
The rising sun is a token of a new era in agriculture. If we follow the leadership of our president, we will be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Madam President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Vice Presidents. The secretary will call the roll of members.
There are 385 members and guests present, Madam President.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here? To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA member should possess. May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare this the first general session of the 91st Montana FFA State Convention duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matter which may properly be presented. Good evening. Thank you all for joining us for the first general session of the 91st Montana FFA State Convention. During this opening session, we will continue to explore and develop our potential by recognizing member success, learning from the experiences of others, and showing our appreciation for those who make all of these opportunities possible. We will also hear retiring addresses from your state Second Vice President, Che Van Dijk, and your state reporter, Gracie Took. State Convention is a great time to gain inspiration, celebrate your passions, and become empowered to make a positive difference in your homes and communities. These next 3 days will be jam-packed with competitions, CDE finals, leadership workshops, motivational speakers, and so much more. Next, I'm proud to introduce to you the girl who studies flashcards for fun, can outshred anyone on the ski hill. It is my pleasure to be hosting this session with your 2020-2021 Montana FFA State Secretary, the lovely Miss McKenna Quirk.
Thank you for that introduction, Brooke. Brooke, your 2020-2021 Montana FFA State President, and I are passionate about drinking tea, and she makes the cutest stickers and loves a good pun. I am so excited to be co-chairing this session with you. We have a special guest with us this evening to help kick off our state convention here in Billings. Please welcome to the stage Mayor Bill Cole of Billings.
Welcome, everybody. How are you doing? I know that there's about 90 FFA chapters in Montana, right? Which one is the best one? I just hear cheering. I don't hear any actual names. How about? Okay. All right, okay. They all are, I think, is what that comes down to. So anyway, welcome to Billings, everybody. My name is Bill, and I am the mayor. And I want one of those gavels. You know, those gigantic ones. I have just one of the little ones for City Hall. And sometimes they get out of hand. It'd be really nice to have something you really clobber people on the head with, I think. But, you know, as you know, I think there's about 90 chapters and about 5,000 members in Montana. But the first chapter was from Moccasin. My family is originally from Denton, north of Moccasin. Is there anybody from Moccasin or Denton or even Fergus County or Judith Basin County? Raise your hand. Give a cheer. All right. Okay, well, it's good to see you guys are still here. You know, the next couple days is going to be a lot of fun. I've been to a number of these conventions, and you're going to have some great weather in Billings. I'm sure most people have been to Billings, but I hope you get a chance to get out. It's really great to have you. As you know, ag is really the backbone of Montana's economy, and bringing you back to Billings is great for our economy. We missed you. So welcome back, even in the middle of COVID-19. Or not the middle, we hope the tail end. We do ask that you keep yourself safe, keep your friends safe, keep your families safe while you're here. While you're here, you're going to learn, I know, a lot of great skills and great values that are going to serve you the rest of your life. You know, they say that the average person now will change jobs about 12 times before they become 50 years old. So while you're here, I encourage you to focus on learning those soft skills that will be important for you in every job, every organization and every relationship that you're ever going to be in. Things like learning how to smile, thinking about how to, learning how to speak with confidence, how to have a firm handshake, what it means to work hard, to look people in the eye, and most importantly, to treat other people with respect. If you can learn those things, you're going to do okay in life, I promise. One last thing, make friends. Take that risk. Introduce yourself to somebody you don't know. Those sorts of things are going to pay off for you for the rest of your life, and who knows, some of the people that you meet today, tomorrow, all your time here may turn out to be some of your best friends for the rest of your life. So good luck. Enjoy Billings and stay safe and welcome. And I can't beat those guys from MSU. I was going to bring 400 iPhones and throw those out, but I forgot them. So I promise, next year, guaranteed. All right? Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Mayor Cole, for welcoming us to Billings. We are honored that we are able to host our in-person convention here. In recognition for all that you do to support Montana FFA, please accept this gift as an acknowledgement of your contributions.
Hey, thank you. Thanks, everybody. Have a great time.
We would also like to thank our local hospitality sponsor, the Billings Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, Visit Billings, for supporting the State FFA Convention's return to Montana's Trailhead.
We are excited to have virtual greetings from Montana's Career and Technical Education State Officer teams. Please direct your attention to the screen to hear from the Montana 4-H, FCCLA, and BPA State Officer teams.
Hello, Montana FFA. We are your Montana 4-H Ambassador team, and we are here to welcome you to your FFA convention.
During the past months, we have been working hard to improve our communities while staying safe.
We have explored the extent of virtual get-togethers and workshops just like you, using them to strengthen our 4-H family even when we cannot be face-to-face.
But it's reassuring to host small gatherings once again. Just like FFA, we are focused on bettering ourselves and our communities, and we are able to have the largest impact in person.
So, as you gather at your convention, we send our best wishes. Stay safe, enjoy your weekend, and we appreciate all of your contributions to our wonderful state. Have a great convention and keep living to serve.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Greetings, Montana FFA. I'm Sean Kuno, State President of Business Professionals of America, wishing you all good luck from your friends at BPA. Now is the time to take all of the hard work you've done throughout this season and show the state of Montana what you're capable of. Make this conference your conference and use the memories you take from it to reflect on moments of fun, friendship, and success through FFA. Have an amazing state conference.
Greetings, Montana FFA. My name is Allie Lee, and I'm Montana FCCLA's State President. We are so excited to get the opportunity to speak with you all today.
Hello, my name is Colton Braddock, and I am the first Vice President of Montana FCCLA, as well as the Chapter FFA President from Prairie County. We understand how hard you have all worked to be here today, and I am sure it is very exciting to have the opportunity to be in person and have a sense of normalcy.
Hello, my name is Bennett Logan, the State Vice President of Public Relations. Enjoy your time at this conference. Meet new people and expand your leadership abilities.
We are so excited for you to get the opportunity to have an in-person state conference. Take it all in while you can. On behalf of the entire FCCLA State Executive Council, we wish you all the best.
Thank you all for being with us this evening.
Wilbur Ellis is a sponsor for tonight's opening general session. Please direct your attentions to the screen for a brief presentation from our session sponsor.
Wilbur Ellis has been an incredible company to work for. I couldn't ask for a better environment.
It's fun here. It's never a dull moment, never.
I enjoy what I do. I enjoy my job.
It's an awesome place to work for, is all I can say.
Wilbur Ellis is a great place to work because we hire great people.
We are a customer and relationship-focused business. People are the most important asset that we have.
Wilbur Ellis's core philosophy is family-based.
We treat each other like family here.
You feel that family environment.
It's a family-owned company, and it feels like a family. Your coworkers are your family members.
Everyone really cares from top to bottom, and they're all trying to help one another.
And I don't know many companies that can offer that.
I thought I came from an international company that was very family-oriented, but when I came to Wilbur Ellis, it put them to shame.
I don't think there's really a typical day for me at Wilbur Ellis.
Every day is a different day. There is really not a typical day for me.
Yeah, there really isn't a typical day.
There's no typical day.
Every day is pretty much different.
You're always doing something different.
It varies a whole lot.
That's a big part of the attractive nature of the job.
Kind of the beauty of the job.
And that's really what I like.
And that's what I enjoy.
That's why we like it.
You just never know what's next.
There's always opportunity to take on more responsibilities, so you're always able to grow here.
You have plenty of room to be impactful. You have plenty of freedom to really grow and try new things.
And I think it's very important for any employee to know that your work is playing a bigger role in the bigger picture within the company.
So I think we all have the sense that we contribute directly to the success of the business.
Everybody has a role to play in delivering value to the customer. And I think there's an opportunity when we talk about one company and one Wilbur Ellis to really leverage that talent base that we have.
Thank you, Wilbur Ellis, for your continued support of the Montana FFA and for making tonight's event possible. At this time, I'd ask you all to please welcome Morgan Van Dijk, Danny Horan, and Mason Whitmer to the satellite stage.
I've known Che since he moved to Glendive in the 5th grade. And since then, I've known him to be nothing but dependable, compassionate towards others, and hardworking. Whether it was playing alongside him on the football field or watching him start an FFA chapter in our own high school, whatever task he had, it was always clear to me that Che put his all into whatever task he had on hand. I consider it a privilege to call Che one of my best friends, and I know that if I ever need anything, I can always count on him.
I'm Che's little sister, Morgan, and something that Che has inspired me for as long as I can remember is that he has dreams. But there's something different about Che having dreams. They don't stay dreams for long. He makes them a reality. But what's really cool is he knows other people have dreams, and he helps all those other people make their dreams a reality too. Che has helped lay out a rug for me to start crawling, built me a railing so I could start walking, and gave me shoes to run in. Che's inspired so many people, and I've watched him do all of his accomplishments, but also his failures, but get right back up.
2 years ago, we were both elected to serve on the state 4-H ambassador team. Little did I know that that was the beginning of one of the best friendships I have ever had. From singing T-Swift full blast to creating our very originally named band, Dan and Che, there was never a dull moment throughout our state ambassador year. Then 1 year ago, I watched my best friend get the opportunity to serve as a state FFA officer, and since then, I have seen him spread his contagious love for FFA. Che is the most considerate, caring, and selfless person I know, and he has shown it through his year serving Montana FFA members like you.
It is now our honor to introduce to you
your 2020-2021 State Second Vice President,
Che Van Dijk.
Whip, run me like a racehorse, pull me like a ripcord, break me down and build me up. I wanna be the slip, word upon your lip, rather that you rip,
So I like to call myself a procrastinator for the reason that I'm always that guy who looks at that check engine light and thinks, yeah, that can wait for tomorrow. How many of you are like that? Whether you're procrastinating on that check engine light, the dishes that are in your sink, or if you're anything like me, your homework. Now, I tell you, I'm one of the worst people at procrastinating my homework. If we sat down right now and I were to show you my assignments, we'd have at least 10 hours, and that's just this week. There's a voice in the back of my head that says, come on, Sae, get it together, let's do it. And my grandpa's saying, just because it's a hard job and you don't want to do it, it's got to get done. I respond to that voice saying, yeah, you're right, I'll get it done. Another day, another time. But that's not the only thing I procrastinate. I procrastinated ideas. Ideas that I thought weren't the best, and maybe ideas that I could have spoken up against. Throughout history, we see ideas come up all the time. Ideas as simple as the little paper stapler that you hold every day, or that thing that you call your friends on every day. That's crazy. What was crazy back in the day was an idea from someone that someone spoke up about. Now, let's look at some more historical figures. Let's go back to 1914. A young man was born on his grandparents' farm. Growing up, he was highly involved in his high school sports. From football, baseball, to wrestling, he was always told to give 103%. He was told that if he ran 100%, he'd make it short of the mile. You can run that mile, but you won't make it in your best time. You had to give it your 103%. After high school, he went on to graduate and study crop science. Through his research, he developed a new variety of wheat, one much smaller and higher resistant to fungi and bacteria. His name is Norman Burlog. Now, Burlog loved service. He wanted to make the world a better place. In 1941, in the midst of World War II, he went to enlist in the armed forces. He was rejected, but instead turned to service through his research. In the 1940s, during World War I, American troops were stranded on an island in the southern Pacific. Supplies were being wasted because the warm salt water would contaminate them. Burlog and his team had to create a compound. And when I mean compound, I mean like a certain glue that would allow these supplies to stay fresh and contained for these American soldiers. His team accomplished this, and this compound became a base recipe for today's superglues and rubber cements. Now let's go a little bit further back. 1802. The first light bulb was invented. Something we see today as so simple. Yet back then, it was nothing. It was not efficient, and it was not appealing. It just did not work. But it wasn't until 1876 when a man by the name of Thomas Edison decided to take this idea to the next level. He wanted to make it a thing, make it a reality, and make it known. Because of his research, he literally lights up our world. I mean, think about what's in your pocket to what's lighting this stage. It all comes together. Now, these two very different people from very different times with different ideas are evident today. If you go out on a cool Montana summer, you will find a field of wheat. This wheat came from a variety from Norman's research. And lights on the equipment harvesting the wheat came from Thomas Edison. Two technologies from different times working together. There's a great master. He's one of the greatest people I know. I know him very personally. And he reflects on these historical figures a lot. His name is Master Oogway. And if you watch Kung Fu Panda, you know what I'm talking about. Master Oogway says, yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. But now is a gift. That's why they call it the present. Now this line is super simple and we overlook it all too often. But when we dive down deep into it, he speaks what these historical figures did. They acted on what they could at the moment, and they made something bigger out of it. Now working on the ranch with my grandpa, he always loved history. He would look back on historical figures and loves to learn. He was a lifelong learner, and he applied everything he learned to his everyday job. Working with my grandpa on the ranch was not easy. We had a full days of work outlined ahead of us, but what astonished me most was that if any neighbor needed a hand, he would drop everything and help them. He'd give it his best, his 103% effort to get that job done, and after we were done, we'd come back. And if we learned something new on that job, we'd apply it to the job we're doing. He always told me there's more than one way to skin a cat. Now, working with my dad, I had a lot of hard times because I wanted to get the job done so fast that I'd cut corners. I was trying that more than one way to skin a cat, but I was not succeeding. Oftentimes, I'd go and do the job and hurry up and walk out to rush out with friends. And it never ceased to exist that I would get a call saying, nope, you did it wrong, come back. I'd have to go back and finish the job correctly. And he told me that if there's a job worth doing, it's worth doing right. I will carry that message along with me forever because, man, is that true, and it saves time when you do it that way. Now, my grandpa and my dad, like Edison and Burlog, are what we call servant leaders. People who would drop everything they have to help someone else, giving 103% effort all the time. You can't find many people like this in the world, but I can think of one group that this is their forte. And yes, I'm talking about you, Montana FFA. So let's look at 2018. I just started my brand new FFA chapter, and we are going to our first state convention. I've always grown up hearing about the passion of the Blue Jacket and what FFA members could really do on their communities, but never really saw what it can do. Not personally. So going to convention, I was in my first livestock judging contest, and I was ready. I was no newbie, and I was ready to get up there and do my best. Man, was that a rude awakening. FFA members, you guys go hard. And I mean, wow. I would never have thought that if you were livestock judging, that your jacket, this corduroy, would keep the cool better than a Yeti cooler. I was cold after that contest, exhausted, and I wanted to go home. I expressed this to my advisor, and she told me, no, we have to stick it out and stay. I'll be surprised. So, throughout convention, I was astonished and inspired by the effort given by volunteers, parents, members, and state officers as they gave it their 103% to pull off convention. Upon the ending of convention, I rode home and engaged in the biggest brainstorming session I've ever been in. We were talking about service projects we can do, what we can bring back home, and how we can apply what we learned at convention into our communities back home. It wasn't until that summer when I started seeing change in our community. A new culture started to form, one developed about gratitude and one of agriculture. I can never be thankful enough for that one convention that I saw the passion from FFA members and how I can apply it. Looking back, I couldn't take all these lessons for granted. I enjoy them so much, and they're so fond. So I ask you, Montana FFA, how will you do your 103%? Because the change doesn't have to happen on a world level. It can be from the person left to the left of you or the person to the right. Say a simple hello and make it their day, because to them, that might be their world. So Montana FFA, how will you change your world? How will you give 103%?
Che. Oh, Che. All of the stories that we could stand up here and tell about you, but we'd be here all night.
And Che probably wouldn't be on time for it anyways, because he's got quite the track record of being fashionably late. But even though you are considered the team therapy dog, and grammar and spelling isn't your strongest trait, there are so many other things that we love about you, Che. And Montana FFA, I am proud to present to you your Montana FFA 2020-2021 State Second Vice President, Che Van Dijk. Love Allie, Max, Bailey, Gracie, McKenna, Gracie, and Brooke.
Thank you.
Che, thank you for encouraging us to challenge ourselves and to always give 103%.
In a year of unexpected changes, Montana FFA and our members have searched for creative ways to carry out our mission of developing our potential for premier leadership, personal growth, and career success. This is also true of our FFA supporters.
Many of you have received a special convention gift box from the Montana FFA Foundation last summer. While we couldn't be together for convention, Montana Farmers Union felt that it was still important to bring a piece of convention to our FFA members wherever they were. We are excited to see many Blue Jackets in attendance at this general session, but know that we also have several FFA members at home watching tonight's session. We are proud to announce that Montana Farmers Union is again sponsoring these gift boxes for Montana FFA members. The Montana FFA Foundation will be packaging and mailing Supervised Agricultural Experience Starter Kits to 1,200 Montana FFA members. Please enjoy this message from our generous partners at Montana Farmers Union.
Your friends here at Montana Farmers Union. I'm Walter Schweitzer, President of Montana Farmers Union, and we are proud sponsors of FFA because we share in your mission of supporting the next generation through education, legislation, and cooperation. The average age of a Montana farmer is 60 years old. As the next generation, you have the power, knowledge, and leadership skills acquired through FFA to make real change and carry the torch to keep agriculture strong here in Montana. As Montana's largest ag organization, we see real value in supporting FFA through the state convention and the CDE days. Now, if you're not going into farming, that's okay too. We need more ambassadors in our communities, as well as young leaders who understand agricultural issues and are leaders amongst their peers, like each one of you. Now, you have a great convention, and I hope to see you in the ag field soon.
Thank you, Montana Farmers Union, for investing in the future of all Montana FFA members at this convention and across the state.
Our state congressmen, Senator Steve Daines and Senator John Tester, have sent video greetings from Washington, D.C. so they could address us this evening. Please direct your attention to the screen to hear their comments.
Well, welcome to the 91st Annual Montana FFA State Convention. And I'm glad there's so many young Montanans who are passionate about agriculture and interested in learning new ways to serve their communities. You know, ag will always be an important part of our Montana way of life. It's our #1 economic driver, and it creates good paying jobs all across our state. And our farmers and our ranchers not only are essential to Montana, but they play a really vital role in feeding the country and the entire world. I'm very grateful that Montana has so many future leaders that will help carry on our rich agricultural legacy. The work FFA does is so important to keeping our ag economy strong and to keeping young people like yourselves engaged. So whether you're joining in person or online, I encourage you to meet new members and take in as many workshops as possible and learn as much as you can. Keep up the great work. God bless.
I want to, first of all, thank the Montana FFA. Appreciate the opportunity to visit with you. Thank you for what you do, keeping Montana agriculture the #1 industry in Montana. Thank you for making sure that our next generation of folks involved in production agriculture and processing our agricultural products have the tools that they need to be able to succeed. Look, there's a lot of challenges out there. There are challenges that deal around with market consolidation and trade and climate change. But I'm telling you, the generation that you're in, you've got the work ethic and you've got the know-how to get by these challenges and make Montana even greater than previous generations have. And it all starts with Montana FFA. And I just want to say thank you for what you're doing. Keep up the good work, and I'll see you out.
Thank you to our congressman for taking the time to acknowledge and encourage our FFA members. This week, we are very fortunate to have a special guest spending time with our FFA members. Coming from the Sunshine State of Florida, please give a warm welcome to our National FFA Southern Region Vice President, Ms. Artha Jonasson.
Thank you. Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for having me here in the Treasure State of Montana. I got here last night, and I've had such a ball being able to connect with so many of you. I want to give a special shout out to the Shepherd FFA chapter and the Opime FFA chapter, who I got to hang out with earlier today. You guys are incredible, and I'm so excited to meet and engage with so many more of you as the week progresses. Well, y'all, let's take a trip back to the spring of 2005. We are in the sweltering heat of the Florida sun. You look far off in the distance, and you see a little Artha J. I've got this huge pink helmet that I begged and begged my parents for Christmas on my head. I'm grabbing a bat about the same size as my body to kick off the clay on my cleats, and I'm taking a step with a little swagger to the batter's box. And I'm staring down the most intimidating subject that my 5-year-old self could conjure up: the batting tee. Y'all, at this point in the T-ball season, my batting average is abysmal at best, but on that day, I knew I was going to change it for the better. So I put my bat over my shoulder, I say a quick prayer, and I give the greatest swing all 3 foot 10 inches of myself could do. And as I follow through that swing, I feel my stomach drop because I missed the ball on the tee. Again. No ball contact, no connection. Y'all, how many of us have ever missed something that is right in front of us? Yeah, let me see those hands. Oh yeah, Seth's hands up in the front. I mean, something will be perfectly placed in front of our very eyes. We'll even have all of the tools necessary to find success, but for some reason, we still miss the mark. I wish that this only happened in my T-ball days, but y'all, I find myself swinging and missing all of the time, especially when it comes to this idea of connection. Every day, we spend so much time staring at TV screens and cell phone screens and computer screens, and if you're like me, you stare at the microwave screen a lot too. But how often do we use those screens to cultivate true connection? Our world has never been so connected, but so many of us have never felt so alone. How unfortunate is it to have hundreds, maybe even thousands of followers on social media, but no one to turn to in real life? But what if I said we don't have to live this way? What if I told y'all that we already have the tools necessary to find success and to connect with each other's in the palm of our very hands? All right, so we're back on that T-ball field, and my head's down, partly because that helmet's way too big for my body, but largely because I'm feeling defeated. Y'all, I missed the ball on the tee again. It's then that my coach, the biggest, scariest, like 6'5" man that I knew at the time, picks up my big old head and says, "Artha, all you gotta do is keep your eye on the prize and connect." All you gotta do is keep your eye on the prize and connect. Y'all ever have a truth bomb dropped on you and you realize maybe it's many years later that they're talking about a little bit more than just T-ball? Coach Neal in that moment wasn't just teaching me how to connect my bat to the ball, but he was teaching me how to connect with the folks around me. You just got to keep your eye on the prize and connect. In T-ball, the prize might be a base hit, but in life, the prizes are the connections and the relationships you build when you take the time to see people for who they really are. So if you're like me and you find yourself longing for meaningful connection and not just high analytics and sound engagement on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, I found that I can keep my eye on the prize and connect when I take the time to appreciate the beauty and the humanity of the people around me. We begin to have our eye on the prize and connect when we stop viewing people as profiles and we water those flowers that lie in our relationship garden. First, by entering other people's world, and then by letting them enter ours. So about this time last year, I did something with my cell phone that I never, ever, ever, ever thought that I would do. So under normal circumstances, I use my phone a lot. I mean, I read the news on my phone. I learn TikTok dances on my phone. I scroll mindlessly through Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and Pinterest and, heck, even the ESPN app on my phone. So let's add this layer of a global pandemic in which the only way that I have of communicating with my classmates who are scattered across the globe is through my phone. Well, y'all, my phone and I, we are tighter than braids these days. It seems like all I do is use my phone. But I don't know if y'all remember what life was like about May of 2020, but here's a little reminder that it was quite the circus. It was in May that people lost their jobs and they found themselves in this constant state of uncertainty. It was in May that it hit us that a little 2-week quarantine wasn't going to drive this coronavirus away. And it was in May that civil unrest was just as prevalent as the coronavirus itself. And for some reason, everything that I saw just ate away at me. So, while we're in May, and my stress is growing to an all-time high, and I haven't brushed my hair in weeks because that's just the Zoom world we were living in, I found myself doing that one thing we all like to do when we're avoiding work. Y'all, I started doom scrolling. Y'all, I had clothes to fold and tests to study for, Zoom calls to attend, but all I really had the willpower to do is open up an app and scroll. With the nation erupting from the killing of George Floyd and a contentious presidential and congressional election saturating the 24-hour news cycle, the fiery social media feeds mirrored the fiery streets of the cities of our great nation. Folks were asking me questions on topics that I hadn't even formed an opinion on simply because I was one of their only black friends. Other people, they took the liberty of assuming my opinion on these really complex topics without ever consulting me first. All of these things, they ate away at who I am, the hope that I found in the world, and the hope that I hope to spark in this world one day. And as I was doing all of that doom scrolling, I came across a tweet that read, "If you still have hope these days, you're not worthy of being around." And y'all, that was my last straw. Because the way that a single tweet made me question all that I am, all that I believe, and if I'm even still worthy of being around, it caused me to do one of the most dramatic things that I probably have done in my 20 years of life. I did that one thing that no 20-year-old girl wants to do. I deleted all of my social media. Yes. I mean, if I could scroll through that app, it was gone. Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. If it was on my phone and I could scroll through it, it was gone. Because that tweet, it helped me realize that I was using social media to have this faux sense of connection to the world. And after I did that, y'all, I'm not going to lie, I asked myself, I'm like, girl, did you just delete the one thing you did to consume all of your time in a global pandemic? What are you going to do now? Whew, y'all, I can't lie. The first few weeks of this social media fast, they were tough. I'd grab my phone, and I'm looking for the Twitter app to scroll through, forgetting that I just deleted it a few days before. I got so bored. I started to reorganize our kitchen pantry. I color-coded my closet. I was about this close for counting the blades of grass in my backyard, y'all. I just needed something to do with all of this newfound time. And eventually, I did find something to do. And man, was it magical. My social media fast allowed me to really open up the front doors of the lives of the people around me and really enter it from the first time. I realized those pictures that I would like on Instagram or the random Snapchat story that I would slide up on, they turned into intentional text messages and FaceTime calls with the people that I love most. So on May 31st, my very best friend in the world, Marissa, she celebrated her 19th birthday. And instead of spending 20 minutes crafting the perfect Instagram story to post, I called my best friend up and we talked for hours. I mean, we laughed about the plans that we had for her birthday that were ruthlessly upended by the pandemic. We cried about the state of our country, but we also uplifted each other in the same breath to do something about the things that we didn't like. And that was all because we had our eye on the prize and we connected with each other in those moments. The prize, it was never how many views I could get on that Instagram story. The real prize was entering my best friend's world on her big day. And y'all, I am so glad that I got the chance to do that. So in my social media fast, I didn't just enter the lives of other folks, but remarkably, they did the same for me. I am a consistent tweeter, Snapchatter, Instagrammer, all of the grammars. So when I fell off the face of the earth, the people who knew me well, they didn't just play a game of, well, where's Artha? They opened up the front door to my life, and they entered in a way that I never thought I'd let people enter before. How many of us are guilty of just sharing the good with the world, just the pretty? Yeah, y'all, I plead guilty to being a perpetual perfectionist on social media. I never really gave the world permission to see me for me, and honestly, I still struggle with that some days. But in my time away from social media, I couldn't hide in that Facebook facade that I was living in anymore. I had to be real and I had to show up. So in June, I got to sit down with my mom and I really got to talk to her. I got to tell her about how my anxiety, it made me really, really anxious, and it made it really hard for me to do those little things that I used to like playing tennis and writing creatively. I let her know about my struggles with imposter syndrome and how I really, really struggled in my first 2 semesters at Harvard, and I felt like a stranger in my new community. And I never thought I could share those kinds of intimate details of my life with anyone, not even the woman who's closest to me, who is my mama. But my mom, because she's the most intentional lady I know, she had her eye on the prize and she connected with me last summer. And because of that, we're so much stronger together. So y'all, I get the appeal of wanting to appear perfect. There's something really, really frightening about sharing those ugly pieces of our existence with the world. And if you're anything like me, you may ask questions like, will they still like me? Will they still love me? Will they still value me if they know these things about me? But here's the thing. When we just share the good, and we just share the pretty, we deprive ourselves of the love that folks have to give to our broken parts. And we can't let light in if we hide the cracks. We can't let light in if we hide the cracks. So because of the social media hiatus, I had the opportunity to appreciate the beauty and the humanity of the people in my community, in my tribe. And amazingly, they did the same thing for me. I asked about the things we wouldn't dare post, and I shared the things that I wouldn't dare post. And as a result, I grew closer to my friends and my family. My relationship with my parents, it's richer, and I transitioned from viewing the world from a lens of unproductive rage to viewing the world from an aspirational lens. I aspired to have a better relationship with others, with myself, and the world that we all share. And then it hit me, y'all. The problem wasn't my phone, it wasn't even social media, but it was the way that I used those things. I had the tool to make substantive connections in my life. I mean, Steve Jobs, those creators at Apple and Microsoft, they put the ball on the tee themselves. But my eyes, they weren't on the prize, so I missed. But when I changed the way that I used my phone and I changed the way that I navigated through those relationships, I got to enjoy the most beautiful prize of genuine human connection. Y'all, the prize was never in the likes. It was never in the analytics. The prize has always, always, always been the people behind those screens. And I don't get this right every day. Sometimes I still find myself doom scrolling and I get so caught up consuming news that I forget that I get the opportunity to walk in this world with the people that I love the most. But here's the thing, y'all. All it takes is one moment to change that. It just takes a few minutes every day to use our tools for good. And if I've learned anything in my time in this blue jacket, it's that our members, our teachers, our stakeholders, and supporters alike, we are committed to making a positive difference in this world. So I challenge each of you to use the tools at your disposal and connect with the folks around you. Whether that's your fashion sense or your oratorical skills or your livestock grooming abilities, use your tools for good and connect. Whether that's in math class or the grocery store or on the football field, use your tools for good and connect. Write that letter, send that text, call that person up, and use your tools for good and connect. Use what you have to make people better. Use what you have to water those flowers that lie in your relationship garden. So y'all, let's pick up our heads, let's grab those bats, let's take a step into the batter's box and keep our eye on the prize and connect. Thank you so much, Montana FFA.
Thank you, Artha, for joining us for our state convention. We are grateful to have you here in person and to be able to show you our appreciation with a Montana-made gift.
Artha will be here all week and will be providing workshops for members throughout convention. We are looking forward to spending lots of time with our National Southern Region Vice President. Additionally, we are going to hear a short message from your National FFA Advisor, Dr. James Woodard. Please turn your attention to the screen.
Hi friends, thanks for inviting me to join your state convention. For those who may not know me, I'm Dr. James Woodard, the National FFA Advisor, and I'm joining you today from my hometown in Georgia. I meet with you today with a sense of gratitude. It's an honor to take part in the Montana State FFA Convention. And my thanks goes to your state president, Brooke Melhoff, and your state staff, Jim Rose and Eric Tilleman, for leading your state organization's efforts. They've all pulled together to lead Montana in an extraordinary year. I'd also like to take a moment to celebrate Marshall Williams for growing and expanding FFA to more students over his 42-year career as the Brodus Ag teacher and FFA advisor. Congratulations on your retirement and thank you for your service. In fact, I'd like to talk about the importance of showing gratitude and paying respect to those who have lifted us all up in the last year and in times previous. I think it provides an excellent lesson for how each of you as FFA members can find success in your future. First, let me show you a picture. Now, if you're like me, that's a picture of something you've probably never seen in real life. Most turtles where I come from tend to struggle climbing anything, fence post included. But that tells us that our turtle friend probably had a boost from someone else to get that incredible view. And we know the turtle will need some help if it wants to come down. There's a lesson there that applies to all of us. The truth is, none of us ever get where we're going without a little help. For FFA members who have won awards or earned honors, take a moment to consider all who have helped you. Your advisor, your teacher, your parents, your boss, and maybe even your friends. Then think about where you would be if no one ever lent you a helping hand or showed you a path forward. Without those people, we'd never get an opportunity to be that turtle on a fence post, seeing the world from a whole new view. I encourage you to share your gratitude and appreciation to those who have helped you, and then make sure you pay it forward. As you earn new opportunities and reach new heights, look for ways to help others in their journey by providing tips, advice, and wisdom from what you've learned. I can promise you that you'll find this path rewarding and beneficial as you reach new heights and find your version of success. Thanks for inviting me to join your state convention, and I hope to have an opportunity to meet all of you very soon, perhaps even at the National FFA Convention and Expo this fall. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Woodard, for all that you do to support FFA members across the nation. Now, please direct your attention to the satellite stage and welcome Royce and Katie Took.
So yeah, my name's Royce.
Hi, my name is Katie Took, and we're Gracie's twin siblings. If this goes bad,
Promise we'll practice on the way back.
our mom said to make her sound like a good sister.
So that means we can't talk about the time when she tried to launch me out of my Johnny jumper after I ate her Peschel ladybug.
Or when Gracie was in charge of watching us and offered us to the neighbors several times.
We are here to tell the great qualities that Gracie's made of.
Your dedication to achieving your goals is truly inspiring. It feels like yesterday when you were setting up for your state office interview and you made us take the dogs out for a 3-hour-long walk. By the way, you still owe me a coffee.
Gracie's able to remember everything, which is pretty good. And so she always remembers whenever I owe her a coffee or $5. So ladies and gentlemen, she's all bark and no bite.
Introducing your 2020-2021
State Reporter, Gracie Took.
Hey Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let her into your heart. Then you can start to make it better. Hey Jude, don't be afraid. You were made to go out and get her. The minute you let her under your skin, then you begin to make it better.
Like many of you, I took physical science as a freshman and biology as a sophomore. By the end of my sophomore year, I wasn't a big fan of science. And then, junior year, chemistry. I fell in love. I fell in love with the periodic table, the atoms, and the way that these atoms bonded together. I learned in chemistry that bonds are not formed randomly. They are formed with pattern, with intention, and with purpose in order to make useful compounds. Now, let's take a step back and talk about the atom. The atom is a building block of life, and it is made up of 3 subatomic particles: the proton, the neutron, and the electron. The proton and the neutron are found in the nucleus, or what makes up the main part of the atom. The proton has a positive charge, while the neutron has no charge at all. The electron is found in the cloud surrounding the nucleus, and it has a negative charge. When an atom bonds together, they use these charges to interact with one another. A bond is only formed if there is a strong attraction between opposite charges. Now, if we pause for a moment, we can recognize that humans are chemical beings that follow these same patterns. This evening, I would like to take a few minutes to discuss how protons, neutrons, and electrons are so relative in how we live our lives and interact with others. During my sophomore year, whenever I put on my FFA jacket, I put on a character that deflected others. You could say I had a lot of electrons in my cloud and a very small amount of protons. I didn't realize this about myself until everything fell apart at state convention. I did absolutely terrible in all of my events, and I started to feel pretty bad for myself. Mrs. Banks was with me during this little pity party of mine, and she simply asked me, "Gracie, why do you care so much about winning? Why do you care so much about being perfect?" I was shocked. I mean, who doesn't like winning? But I eventually answered her by saying, "Mrs. Banks, if I don't win, or if my name isn't announced, nobody will like me
or know me. On our valence electrons, which allowed our protons to be fully showcased. He was striving to pull others in and encourage them. We should all be more like Cooper. We should seek to make an impact on others by simply reaching out and showing genuine interest in who they are. We can no longer be put off by the electrons of others. Instead, we must use our protons to pull them in, show them grace, and truly understand them. With this, a bond is formed. Now, let me share with you the Tuke atomic theory that I have developed over the past several years in this organization. First, let's talk about my friend, Joe Lachman. Many of you know him, many of you have competed with him, and many of you are like me, you have lost to him. Joe reminds me of that type of individual that during my sophomore year, I would have thrown up a wall of electrons against for fear that I would not measure up. You see, Joe is the perfect blend of protons, neutrons, and electrons. He knows when to use his protons to create positivity in himself and in others. He knows just how to utilize his neutrons to be a friend without being positive or negative, just supportive. He knows when to use his electrons to steal some of our own so that we may become more balanced individuals. Next, I met Matthew Slipka at Alumni Leadership Camp in 2018. Matthew reminds me of an unassuming and essential compound. There is no dangerous radioactivity within him. Matthew's greatest atomic characteristic is that he's able to lift our negativities out of our clouds without getting too caught up in them. Matthew is one of those individuals that we don't mind being vulnerable with. The third test of my atomic theory is Weibo's own Haley Varner. Under actual atomic theory, the only way for an atom to become more positive is by shedding its electrons on a nearby atom. Unique among all other elements, Haley is able to create positivity in herself without having to push her negativities on others. By continually encouraging others, Haley is able to make strong and lasting bonds that maintain a positive charge. Individually, Joe, Matthew, Cooper, and Haley, and many of you have had a positive impact on my life. I trust that through your own involvement in this organization, you have been able to interact with others, showcase your protons, and help others out by seeking a few of their unnecessary electrons. Remember also that neutrons are an important part of the formula. Be that hand to hold, that ear to hear, and that shoulder to cry on, and continue to grow and form lasting bonds that can only be made in the blue corduroy. Thank you, Montana FFA, and may you be the atom that you were intended to be.
Remember, hey, to let her into your heart. Then you can start to make it better, 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 better.
Gracie, when we first met you at Gold Conference our senior year, we had no idea what we were getting into. When you're not fueling your hairspray addiction, beating up Mr. Rose, or forcing us to learn more about chemistry, you light up every room with your contagious laughter and the brightest smile we've ever seen. Thank you for serving with us this year. Love, Gracie, Allie, Che, Bailey, Max, McKenna, and Brooke. Montana FFA, your 2020-2021 State Reporter, Gracie Tuke. Over the next few days, 20 individuals will be undergoing a rigorous interview process as they run for the opportunity.
Riley Prather, 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 Bailey Prather, Big Prather, Big Prather, Big Prather, Big Timber, 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 Timber,
Braylon LaRue, Big Timber.
Amy Chilcote, Missoula. Aubrey Bohr, Deer Lodge.
Thank you, state officer candidates. We wish you the best of luck in your pursuits this week.
Oh, we have
Oh,
more.
my bad.
Sorry.
Carry on, folks.
That's so good.
Braden Goodman from Fromberg. I'm Miles Gravely from Deer Lodge.
I'm Matthew Slipka from Winifred.
I'm Cassandra Bratton from Dawson FFA.
Alrighty. Thank you again, state officer candidates. And we wish you all the best of luck in your pursuits this week.
In this nomination process, a group of people play a crucial role in determining the next chapter of the Montana FFA Association. Our nominating committee facilitators are Luke LaLiberty, Leah Graff, and Matt McCamey. These individuals put in many hours making sure the process of selecting next year's state officer team runs smoothly. With all the stress that comes with this commitment, they still find it easy to give candidates encouragement and a smile before each interview. At this time, we would like to recognize our nominating committee members. Carissa Florsinger, a former state officer. Morgan Rose, former state officer. Frank Witt, former state officer. Tim Schaaf, industry professional. Mike Phillips, industry professional. Pat Kostler, industry professional. Anthony Hernandez from the Little Bighorn FFA chapter. Nora Goodwin from the Victor FFA chapter. And Trent Peterson from the Red Lodge FFA chapter. Please give these individuals a round of applause for all the hard work they put in this process.
At this time, we would like to recognize some of Montana's highest achieving members and chapters in the area of career and leadership development events. This past October, during the first virtual National FFA Convention and Expo, Montana FFA members were recognized for their achievements in the development of their supervised agricultural experiences. Caroline Rader of the Shoto FFA chapter was recognized as a finalist in the National Sheep Production Proficiency Award area. Claire Stevenson of the Hobson FFA chapter represented Montana in the National Beef Production Proficiency Award area as a finalist as well. Congratulations to both of these members on their hard work and dedication to personal development and career success in the FFA. We would also like to celebrate and congratulate Mamie Hurdle, the 2019-2020 National FFA Central Region Vice President, who represented the state of Montana as she traveled across the nation and the world while serving the National FFA organization. Mamie, thank you for your inspiring leadership over this past year and for reminding us all that there is more to it all. While members were not able to compete in career or leadership development events in the 2020 National FFA Convention, many members qualified to compete in those events, and we would like to recognize those members at this time. If you are a national qualifier in any event, please stand to be recognized. Congratulations to all national CDE qualifying teams and contestants.
Montana FFA members have been busy competing in various career development events over the past month. The Montana FFA State CDE Days competitions were held in Missoula from March 26th through March 28th, and we would like to recognize the top individuals in these events as well as the top teams. We'll recognize each individual and team with a power clap.
The Meets Evaluation Career Development event is sponsored by Pioneer Meets. The top 10 individuals in Meets evaluations were 10th place, Deer Lodge, Miles Gravely. 9th place, Big Timber, Jake Steen. 8th place, Missoula, Emma Habits. 7th place, Kalispell, Ivan Hupel. 6th place, Missoula, Lily Meggs. 5th place, Big Timber, Rihanna King. 4th place, Kalispell, Bailey Lake. 3rd place, Big Timber, Morgan Anderson. 2nd place, Missoula, Sean Bingsley. And your first place individual in the Meet CDE from Missoula, Claire Stanley. The top teams in the Meets Evaluation CDE are, in 5th place, Grass Range. In 4th place, Mile City. In 3rd place, Kalispell. In 2nd place, Big Timber. And your first place team in the Meets Evaluation CDE is the Missoula FFA chapter.
The top 10 individuals in the horse evaluation CDE were, in 10th place from Roundup, Hannah Goffna. In 9th place from Roundup, Mackenzie Serrano. In 8th place from Kalispell, Cody Carson. In 7th place from Roundup, Tesh Shaw. In 6th place from Kalispell, Tanaya Welsh. In 5th place from Dawson, Morgan Van Dyke. In 4th place from Belgrade, Ashley Schumacher. In 3rd place from Missoula, Amy Chocote. In 2nd place from Gardner, Wyatt Dooley. And your first place individual in the horse evaluation CDE from Missoula, Colin Cox. The top teams in the horse evaluation CDE are, in 5th place, Miles City. In 4th place, Belgrade. In 3rd place, Roundup. In 2nd place, Kalispell. And your first place team in the horse evaluation CDE is the Missoula FFA.
The top 10 individuals in the Veterinary Science CDE were, tied for ninth from Plevna, Daisy Burkle, and from Kalispell, Daniel Dorset. 8th place from Corvallis, Audrey Urbaugh. 7th place from Corvallis, Nissa Schreier. 6th place, Kalispell, Hannah Stolfus. 5th place, Fergus of Lewistown, Bailey Eucher. 4th place, Miles City, Abby Nowicki. 3rd place, Grass Range, Caden Seaholm. 2nd place, Grass Range, Nola Goss. And your first place individual in the horse evaluation CDE from Grass Range, Morgan Sirian. The top teams in the Veterinary Science CDE are, in 5th place, Miles City. In 4th place, Plevna. 3rd place, Kalispell. 2nd place, Corvallis. And your first place team in the Veterinary Science CDE is the Grass Range FFA.
The top 10 individuals in the Forestry CDE were, in 10th place from Belgrade, Alex Tatarka. In 9th place from Deer Lodge, Aubrey Bower. In 8th place from Mission Valley, Michaela Learn. In 7th place from Deer Lodge, Miles Gravely. In 6th place from Deer Lodge, Aiden Thompson. In 5th place from Belgrade, Ray Hankey. In 4th place from Belgrade, Joey Tassell. In 3rd place from Mission Valley, Logan Lahog. In 2nd place from Mission Valley, Robert McRae. And your first place individual in the Forestry CDE from the Mission Valley FFA, J. Lee Lunsford. The top teams in the Forestry CDE are, in 5th place, Beaverhead. In 4th place, Forsyth. In 3rd place, Deer Lodge. In 2nd place, Belgrade. And your first place team in the Forestry CDE is the Mission Valley FFA.
The top 10 individuals in the Food Science CDE were, in 10th place from Missoula, Gus Turner. Ninth place from Shields Valley, Kayla Johnson. 8th place from Missoula, Claire Stanley. 7th place from Missoula, Amy Chilcote. 6th place from Shields Valley, Sage Willis. 5th place, Park City, Jaden Boardman. 4th place from Forsyth, Brianna Price. 3rd place from Conrad, Bridger Gokener. 2nd place from Forsyth, Brianna Rainey. And your first place individual in the Food Science CDE from Colstrip, Aaron Blankard. The top 10 teams in the Food Science CDE are, in 5th place, Colstrip. In 4th place, Forsyth. In 3rd place, Shields Valley. In 2nd place, Belgrade. And your first place team in the Food Science CDE is the Missoula FFA chapter.
The top 10 individuals in the Floriculture CDE were, in 10th place from Corvallis, Amelia Schreier. In 9th place from Joliet, Delaney Bowens. In 8th place from Miles City, Cadence Anderson. In 7th place from Missoula, Claire Stanley. In 6th place from Plevna, Jada Paul. In 5th place from Miles City, Paige Shaw. In 4th place from Corvallis, Nisha Schreier. In 3rd place from Joliet, Olivia Collins. In 2nd place from Plevna, Sophia Schumacher. And your first place individual in the Floriculture CDE from Joliet, Thaddeus Miller. The top teams in the Floriculture CDE are, in 5th place, the Corvallis FFA. In 4th place, Forsyth. In 3rd place, Plevna. In 2nd place, the Miles City FFA. And your first place team in the Floriculture CDE is the Joliet FFA.
Congratulations to all of our competitors. We are now going to recognize our top 5 state talent individuals. These individuals competed virtually this year and sent in videos to be evaluated by a panel of judges. Congratulations to all of them. In 5th place from Bainville, Wyatt Everson. In 4th place from Hot Springs, Jack McAllister. In 3rd place from Plentywood, Lane Johnson. In 2nd place from Dawson, Ryan Desai. And your winner of the 2020-2021 Montana FFA State Talent Contest is, from Roundup, Emily Coles. Congratulations to our talent winners. Your hard work and talent will be celebrated throughout this week as our top 3 individuals perform during our upcoming sessions. Madam Secretary, do you have a record of any new or unfinished business which should properly come before this, the first general session?
Look for the Montana FFA Legend, our online convention newsletter, which is located on the Montana FFA Association Facebook page. Thank you to the Sims FFA for organizing the Legend. As this convention is a hybrid experience with both in-person activities and opportunities for engagement online, we invite you to log in to our virtual convention platform, Whova. This platform can be downloaded as an app or can be accessed through your browser. You can attend networking sessions, career exploration seminars, and our conference exhibitors through this app. Recordings of sessions, virtual workshops, opportunities to connect with other members, and more can be found on Whova, and be sure to participate on the app so you can get on the leaderboard. If you are interested in receiving an Sae Starter Kit sponsored by the Montana Farmers Union, be sure to visit the Montana FFA Foundation booth located next to our registration area to sign up to receive a starter kit. And as always, remember to tag the Montana FFA Association on Instagram and Facebook as you share your state convention experiences on social media.
Does any member know of any new or unfinished business which should properly come before this, the first general session? We are about to adjourn the first general session of the 91st Montana FFA State Convention. As we mingle with others, let us be just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, please join me in a salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I now declare the first general session adjourned.
music like Grandma and Grandpa used to play. Then I'll float